This is Autoline Daily, the show dedicated to enthusiasts of the global automotive industry. In a stunning move, Volkswagen agreed to invest billions into a joint venture with Rivian, which ensures that the EV startup will have the cash that it needs to launch its R2 models, as well as resume construction of its new U.S. assembly plant in Georgia. VW will immediately invest $1 billion into Rivian and expects to make additional investments through 2026, which could bring the total to $5 billion. Let's just cut to the chase. VW is essentially paying Rivian a fortune to get access to its software-defined vehicle design, its zonal electronic architecture, and all the software that runs on it. It will also give Rivian enormous economies of scale with all the hardware components that are part of the system. But there are potential pitfalls that lie ahead. It will be a 50-50 joint venture with equal control, so no one has the final say in what they will do. That can really slow down decision-making. VW already has a deal with Xpeng and its CARIAD software unit to develop software-defined vehicles and zonal architectures. But that's only for the Chinese market. The deal with Rivian will serve all of VW's brands, including Scout, in global markets outside of China. In its announcement, Rivian also hinted at 5 future products that it's never shown or mentioned before, including a derivative coming off its new Gen 2 platform, which you can see at the top of the second column in this graphic. There's also another derivative coming off its MSP platform for the R2 and R3. And then on the far right, there are 3 vehicles under wraps that Rivian calls affordable mass market vehicles. We think those could have starting prices in the high $20,000 range. And we've got to wonder how Elon Musk and Tesla will react to the Rivian news. Tesla relies on 2 models, the Y and 3, for 95% of its sales, and those models are starting to run out of sales steam, at least in the American market. Up till now, Tesla outsold every other automaker combined in sales of electric vehicles in the US. But this month will likely be the tipping point, where Tesla's EV market share drops below 50%. It wouldn't matter too much if Tesla sales were growing and it was losing market share, but sales are not growing. Cox Automotive estimates that Tesla's US sales fell 13% in the first quarter. Tesla is still an EV juggernaut, but these stats and the Rivian move should be sending off alarm bells at the headquarters in Austin. Last week's cyberattack that disrupted car dealership operations across the US is going to impact dealers longer than expected. CDK told dealers that it won't be able to restore its dealer management system before June 30th. The software, which is used by 15,000 dealers, manages parts, service, accounting, finance, and insurance, and vehicle inventory. In the meantime, dealers have resorted to using pen and paper in some cases to keep track of everything. And yet, despite the cyber attacks, June won't be all that bad from a sales standpoint. Cox Automotive says June car sales in the US will be up only 1% compared to a year ago, but they're running at a healthy pace. It says sales should top 1.4 million vehicles, with the SAAR coming in at a healthy 16.2 million, though for the year it expects the SAAR to hit 15.5 million. If we look at just EVs, sales in June are about on pace with the rest of the market. Cox Automotive says EVs will have about 7.5% market share, and it expects the pace to pick up in the second half of the year because so many more EV models will hit the market from companies like General Motors, Honda, Stellantis, and Volkswagen. This is the very last concept car that Pontiac ever worked on. Revealed on the GM Design Instagram page, the concept had never been seen publicly since it was completed in 2008. In the background of one of the hand drawings, you can see a fuzzy G8, which was a rear-drive V8 sedan launched by the brand around the same time that this concept was rolling out of the Advanced Studio in California. So, it likely would have inspired the next-gen Pontiac G8. But, as most of us know, 2008 was peak Great Recession, GM had financial problems, and there was restructuring efforts at the company. It eventually announced that year it would discontinue the Pontiac brand, and by 2010, Pontiac was gone altogether. Earlier this month, we reported about a system GM and its Chinese joint venture partner SAIC are developing, and thanks to Gasgoo, here's a much better look at the RoboTest platform. Basically, it does the entire vehicle testing and certification process instead of using a human, which makes the results more accurate. All of the motors, actuators, radars, cameras, and other devices have been designed to fit into a wide range of vehicles without modifying any original structure. And all of the data is then sent to a control center. Not only will they use the tech for their vehicles, GM and SAIC hope to sell it to other companies as well. Bentley introduced the new Continental GT Speed, which it says is the most powerful vehicle in its lineup ever. The model is ditching its W12 engine and is now powered by a plug-in hybrid setup. It consists of a 4-liter V8 engine and an 8-speed dual-clutch transmission that are combined with a 187 horsepower electric motor and a 25.9 kilowatt-hour battery pack. The total output of the system is 771 horsepower. It can move from 0 to 60 miles per hour in 3.1 seconds. It has a top speed of 208 miles per hour or 335 kilometers an hour, and its all-electric range is 50 miles or 81 kilometers. A convertible version is also available, but with that extra weight, it's a little slower than the coupe. The Continental GT also gets a significant styling update for the exterior, most notably its single front headlamps, which is the first time since the 1950s that a non-coach built Bentley features single headlamps. The new Continental GT Speed will be built at the automaker's plant in England, with production and deliveries starting in the third quarter of the year. CATL, the biggest battery maker in the world, is taking to the skies. Last year, it revealed its high-density condensed battery, which it said could be used in passenger aircraft, and it's already doing tests. The company's chairman revealed CATL has successfully tested a 4-ton electric plane and expects to introduce a pack for an 8-ton commercial plane by 2027 or 2028 that has 1,200 to 1,800 miles or 2,000 to 3,000 kilometers of range. Software-defined vehicles allow automakers to provide updates and new features with over-the-air updates, or an engineer with a laptop can tap into a vehicle to change almost any parameter. So join us on Autoline After Hours tomorrow when ZF, a sponsor of this show, will show us how automakers can do all the chassis, steering, and braking development with a laptop, instead of needing crates full of different springs, bushings, brake pads, sway bars, and months of testing at the proving grounds just to sort out which works best. But that's a wrap for today's show. Thanks for making Autoline a part of your day.
Autoline Daily is brought to you by Bridgestone, solutions for your journey. Intrepid Control Systems, over-the-air engineering boost your game. MEDC, where Michigan businesses are powering the future of mobility. Teijin Automotive Technologies, the formula for better mobility. And by ZF.
Michigan is leading the charge in mobility and innovation, and I can't think of a better state to be in.
There's nothing wrong with heavy metal.
Hey, lighten up.
But with world-class composite material, Teijin Automotive Technologies makes vehicles lighter, safer, and more eco-friendly.
Intrepid's NeoVi Pi, allowing automotive engineers to interface, capture, and monitor vehicle data using Raspberry Pi. As a matter of fact, it's the automotive industry's first robust platform for Raspberry Pi, featuring Intrepid CAN-FD technology and Raspberry Pi Compute Module. The NeoVi Pi is designed for automotive environments, allowing use with relative power ranges and applications. In addition, the NeoVi Pi enables you to use the Raspberry Pi for compute while avoiding additional development to adapt to network environments. That makes the NeoVi Pi powerful enough to solve your vehicle network problems, yet small enough to fit in your backpack. One of many Intrepid tools used for developing zonal architecture and software-defined vehicles.
Keeping your heart racing in and out of the gym. That's what really matters. Bridgestone Potenza Sport AS tires with a 50,000-mile limited warranty.